You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome back to Vocal Technologist. We're diving straight into the latest from the world of AI this week. Think of it as your essential AI Mondays brief.
Yeah, there's always so much happening, it's almost dizzying trying to keep track.
Totally. Our goal here is just to cut through it all, and get to those key moments, the stuff you really need to know.
Exactly. We'll help you make sense of what actually matters in this constantly shifting landscape.
Okay, so first up, the big players. Microsoft. They've just dropped two pretty significant in-house models.
Right.
First, there's MAI Voice 1. Apparently, it can whip up a minute of audio in less than a second. That's incredibly fast for voice generation.
Wow. Okay.
And then there's MAI 1 Preview. This one's a big mixture of experts model. Basically, think of it like an AI team leader that assigns tasks to specialized AIs. Super efficient.
And trained on a lot of hardware, right?
Oh, yeah. Something like 15,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs. It's clearly a big strategic push for them. Seems like they want to rely less on others, like OpenAI.
What's really interesting there is the strategy. It's all about diversification now. And not just power, but specialized, cost-effective AI.
Cost-effective being key, I think.
Definitely. And you have to wonder, how will all this competition actually shape AI for everyone? For you, is it going to make these powerful tools more accessible?
Seems like it. And speaking of competition, Meta's not sitting still. They're racing to get their next Llama model out. Could be Llama 4 point something before the end of the year. Their Meta Superintelligence Labs is leading that charge.
Right, the restructured labs.
And then there's xAI, Elon Musk's company. They just launched Grok Code Fast 1.
Ah, yes, the coding model.
Exactly. Specialized for coding, optimized for speed, and get this, the cost is ridiculously low, like 20 cents per million input tokens.
20 cents. Compared to what, like $18 plus from others?
Precisely. It's a massive difference. They're even offering free access temporarily if you use things like GitHub Copilot.
Okay, that's kind of a game changer for developers, isn't it?
Yeah.
It basically removes a huge cost barrier.
It really does, which kind of leads us to the next point, right? This stuff isn't just happening in labs anymore.
No, it's spreading out fast.
Yeah, AI is showing up everywhere. Apparently, over 1 billion people are using AI chatbots regularly now. Models like GPT-5 are getting cheaper, easier to access.
And sometimes better than humans at certain, intellectual tasks.
Right. And OpenAI just made their Realtime API generally available. It features GPT Realtime, their top speech-to-speech model. So think more natural voice agents, handling complex stuff, images, even phone calls, all with less delay.
That's huge for interaction. And then you've got Google Translate doing real-time conversation translation now in like over 70 languages.
Yeah, makes talking to anyone, anywhere, so much easier.
It all points to this idea of mass intelligence. Basically, intelligence isn't this rare thing anymore. It's becoming more like a utility, like electricity.
Like electricity. I like that.
Yeah. And the big question becomes, how do we use all this available intelligence effectively? How do we manage it? And then pushing things even further, you mentioned R0.
Oh, yeah, R0, the self-evolving one.
Exactly. It generates its own training data.
Yeah.
That's fascinating because it potentially breaks the bottleneck of needing humans to constantly feed AI information. It learns more autonomously.
Which is both amazing and maybe a little bit unsettling.
Well, it certainly brings up practical challenges, right?
Yeah.
Especially around how we use AI safely and ethically.
For sure. Like, developers are building their own coding tools now with open source stuff, trying to understand these systems better from the inside. Even Xcode, Apple's developer tool, is adding support for models like Claude and ChatGPT-5 in its beta.
Right, with a paid account for Claude, I think.
Yeah, usually a catch. But it shows the integration is happening at all levels.
But that integration forces us to think about the human side. Strategy, ethics, security, privacy, these are becoming central.
Absolutely. There's new data, Sapient Insights, I think, showing HR leaders are now actually taking the lead on enterprise tech strategy, especially around AI governance and ethics.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you have the flip side. A 1Password report found, 63% of security leaders are worried?
Worried about employees feeding sensitive data to AI.
Yeah.
It's a real concern.
And even the AI companies are grappling with this. Anthropic, the makers of Claude, they just changed their policy on training data.
Oh, what did they do?
They used to not train on user data by default. Now, they will, unless you specifically opt out by September 28th.
Okay, so the burden shifts to the user to protect their data privacy if they don't want it used for training. That's a significant change.
It really highlights that tension, doesn't it? Improving the AI versus protecting user data. It forces a choice.
So as AI gets smarter, more autonomous, more integrated, how do we make sure it stays aligned with, what we actually want, with human values and security?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground. The AI landscape is just moving incredibly fast. New models, new integrations, these big ethical questions.
It's definitely a journey. And thinking bigger picture, it's not just about the tech. It's about how our relationship with intelligence itself is changing.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah, if AI is becoming abundant, if it's starting to evolve on its own, it's woven into everything we do. What new skills, what new perspectives do you need to navigate that future? Something to think about.
Spoken Tech for your ears.